going to be a good time.
My legs hurt so much just watching that video.
That's also, I believe they're running that on white heat, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a pretty steep trail to begin with, and then moguls up. That's going to be fun to watch.
But they just got a lot of fresh snow.
They did. Every trail becomes a mogul trail when it's fresh snow.
True.
It's funny how many people think they want to ski in like 20 inches of snow, then it happens, and they're like, oh, turns out my legs hate this very much. Unfortunately, we're looking at rain the next couple of days. Shouldn't be a huge impact to the mountains, but there will be along the coastline. We've got some showers to the west right now. We actually kind of eked out a decent day over southern and western Maine, so it ended up being pretty nice. Look at this just little sliver of sunshine that moved out of New Hampshire into southern Maine. Not everybody got in on it, but if you did, it was actually, and still is, a pretty nice afternoon. So this front stretches all the way down into the Gulf of Mexico. And now typically it really wouldn't be an issue because it would just move away from us to the east. But this time it's actually going to stall out over northern New England, really specifically us, tonight, tomorrow night, at least the first half or so of Friday, and that's going to produce a good amount of rain during that time period. It's just scattered showers until later this evening. I'd say 10 to midnight it starts to thicken up a little bit, and the showers turn into a more consistent rain. And that rain sets in through tomorrow morning and really settles in the middle of the day tomorrow, in between light rain and moderate bursts of rain. Notice there's less precipitation as you head into the mountains, so they won't get as much, which is good because it is going to be an all-rain event, at least this part of it. But the axis of this front is kind of cutting through Wiscasset, and so that's where the heaviest rain falls there, and then east into down east Maine. Through Thursday night, it's still raining, and into Friday morning, we start to drive some cold air in to the mountains and get a little bit of snow on the back end, maybe even across the interior briefly. And then we end this thing, it looks like midday or so on Friday, as some showers. So it's quite a prolonged period of rain. The question, of course, is how much total moisture are we going to drop down? And it looks like there's a zone in here in Washington and Hancock County especially that I feel comfortable saying 3 to 5 inches of rain. So that's a lot of rain. The rest of the coast probably close to 2 inches, and then diminishing amounts as you head northwest away from the front. So that's just enough to trigger from the National Weather Service a flood watch. As you know, it's been wet. In fact, Portland, for example, is about 2 inches away from our wettest March ever. And so there's not a lot of give here in the soil. So this additional rain will cause some flooding. I don't think it's catastrophic flooding, but there will be some, and especially in spots that have a significant snowpack still, closer to Bangor, closer to the interior. A lot of the snow over southern coastal Maine, at least, has melted. That will help us. Quiet weekend. It's a bit breezy on Saturday. Sunday looks good. Easter Sunday is a mixture of sun and clouds. There's a signal mid next week that is very interesting to me. It has that look of a low that sits and then tries to kind of spin around a little bit for a while. So if this is in the ballpark, we could be in for a significant storm next week. And you can see there's a lot of white, so that tells you something. But I'll deal with that when we get there. It's still a while away. First things first, that rain, which is more than just dreary, we'll watch for some potential flooding issues. We do clear out. I think that Sunday is the better of the 2 weekend days because we drop the wind and we have more consistent sunshine. Monday's actually the best day, but it loses points for being a Monday.
Right.
It's going to be 50 degrees and there'll be sun in there too.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keith, thank you.